Godspeed to the Speedy Tribe. Godspeed to the Speedy Tribe. How we doing out there, man? Your boy's back on another video, and the topic of this video today is you're supposed to know your parents' past so you can know your future. What do I mean by this? Most of our parents, majority of our parents, have a lot of blockage due to how they were raised, right? So most of our parents went through trauma, abuse, and abandonment and all these type of issues, right? But because of the time they were living in, they never knew how to express it, so they suppressed it within themselves, which ultimately played a profound effect to why they raise us the way they do and how they act towards us and how they don't really listen to us, but they want to project their ideologies and stuff on us. And it all comes from a place of hurt, abandonment, abuse, and trauma, right? You also have to understand that our parents were raised by slaves, man. We're not too far removed from slavery, right? So your mom's mom was raised by a slave, right? So that being that is the case, right? You gotta understand that the teachings, the ideologies, the way we subject ourselves to destitution, how we just have a one-track mind, how we don't know how to branch out and express ourselves, how we don't know how to tap into our resources, how we don't even know how to tap into ourselves, all comes from a place of, distortion. It was so much distortion in our bloodlines and our family lines and everything like that due to the fact that our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents were all victims of the slave mentality. It is important to ask your parents, hey, mom, how was grandma like? And why do you think you act this way? You have to ask hard-hitting questions for your parents to really think about, because you understand, because of them suffering from certain traumatic issues in the past, they sweep things under the rug and never knew how to handle it. Maybe you can be the elixir for their thirst for knowledge of self. Most of our parents look for answers. Most of our parents were abandoned by their parents, emotionally, physically, all these type of things. But because they were so tough, right, and they were brought up on just getting through it, and not knowing how to work through their problems, not even knowing how to solve what's really hurting them inside, they subconsciously have a thought every day to try to fix themselves when they really can't, because they don't have answers from people. They don't even know how to speak about it. So the same thing you go through in regards of not knowing how to express yourself and ask questions and seek resources out to fix your problems, it's coming from a place where your parents were. So it transmigrated through the DNA, right? And it was instilled in you, and now you have that trait. But what you want to do is you want to I noticed something. There's a similarity and characteristics from me and my mom or me and my dad, and why is this and why is that? And then that's when you start asking the questions like, how was your past, mom? How was your past, dad? They're going to be more inclined like, how come my son is asking me these type of questions? I never was asked this question growing up. They're going to see somebody cares, and it could be you, their own blood, asking them, trying to help them break a cycle that they always wanted to break, but they just didn't know how to, right? And this is why it's important to know your parents' past to know your future, because when you know your parents' past, you can then shape and redirect and alter the DNA structure of who you are and who they are for the future to come, for your future kids. So your kids don't even have to come out like you. They can come out better than you because you knew what roadblocks and blockages and triggers and issues to dodge, so they won't internalize that when they are born and brought into the world or conceived. So this is why it's important to alter DNA and know that it comes from knowing the past. It comes from knowing what affected your family, right, to the point where nothing could change and everything was messed up. You have to know these things. It's very important, because once you do this, you are cracking the code to breaking that cycle that nobody else could break. You can be the start. You're going to be the start. All you got to do is just go ahead and start off on seeking for answers from the past. You have to go patch up the pieces to the past. And it could be through you, it could be through your parents, it could be through your grandparents, it could be through your brother, it could be through anybody. But you just gotta know how to know the past so you can know your future. Alright? Hope that video helped you guys a lot, man. I'm doing more videos like these, and stay tuned, man, and DM me for consultations and mentors and mentorship programs and everything like that. I got all that available for y'all. So, all right, Godspeed.